This is Grandmaster Boris Alterman and you're watching Gambit Guide. And welcome to the part 3, the Goring Gambit. So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and d4, e takes d4, c3, d takes c3, and knight takes c3, we are getting into the standard position, which already we studied for 2 lessons. And today is the final lesson, and I would like just to show you the most, I would say, playable continuation for black in this position, bishop b4. So in the previous lesson we also considered the knight f6 and d6 with the knight f4. Looking at bishop b4, I would like to draw your attention to other continuation, d6, which after bishop c4 would lead to the similar line with knight f6, but black has also another opportunity just to play bishop e6. In that case, for keeping the initiative, white has to exchange, bishop takes e6. And after f takes e6 to play immediately, typical move, queen b3, simultaneously attack e6 and b7 pawns. So now clear that queen d7 after queen takes b7 leads to the good position for white. So white is having just better development and already won the pawn on b7 back. So let's say after rook b8 and queen a6, white queen easy escapes. Still white is much better after short castling, and then that bishop could be developed to the long diagonal after b3 and bishop b2. Queen c8 is of course the strongest continuation in that case. How white should continue his attack in that situation? Knight g5, once again the weakest spot in this position is pawn on e6. Knight d8, f4, bishop e7, short castling, and you can realize that it's not so simple here to play for black. For instance, after knight f6, white is just continue with f4, f5. Black's king cannot castle anymore on the short side after, let's say, e5 and bishop e3. White is having just great compensation. Next, I would play rook c1. I could also intend knight d5 at right moment. Black's king never would castle on the short side. So that's why, that's the reason that bishop b4 is the most popular continuation in that position. So black is trying to exchange his dark square bishop and to finish the development very fast. The d6, knight f6, and short castling. So in the first game, which I would like to show you today, between Alexander Alokhin and Dmitry Isakov, played in Moscow tournament 1919, Alokhin didn't find the strongest response in this plan, and after bishop c4, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, d6, short castling, and knight f6, suddenly black cannot capture the bishop on d6 after rook takes e1. Queen takes e1 and queen takes d6, we simply play queen e8 check, and black is going to be mated after queen f8 and bishop takes f7. King h8 and queen takes f8. So by this rook e1 move, Alokhin showed that he's controlling, of course, the situation on the board. And when his opponent suddenly played bishop f5, white found the decisive move which just completely destroyed black's defense. Let's try to find it. So when I ask you to look for a combination, first of all you have to pay attention that pawn on f7